All right, so I really had to show you guys this because it's so rare to see MSNBC give Bernie any like positive coverage. Not only is it that, but they actually go out of their way to essentially suppress positive coverage of Bernie Sanders. So anytime I see any like legit, and the sad thing is like their positive coverage is just reporting the facts. But usually they'll, you saw that clip of Steve Kornacki where the guy in his ear is like, yo, you need to stop this. And then they cut off that one guy who's talking about how Bernie was doing well in Nevada. He's like, oh, it looks like we just dropped his audio. Like, literally, as soon as he says Bernie's doing well, the audio just mysteriously disappears. It poofs away. So this guy's going to talk about Bernie Sanders' odds with the Culinary Union, and I'll explain that in a second.
Stephanie, the long and short of it is Culinary's decision probably makes it more likely that Bernie Sanders ends up being your winner here in Nevada. The Culinary Union is opposed to a Medicare for All program without choice. Had they come out and endorsed Joe Biden, with whom they have a long relationship, it might have been a big boost to Joe Biden when he needs it most. Likewise, they could have endorsed Pete Buttigieg or Amy Klobuchar, Tom Steyer, all folks who are competitive-ish in Nevada but need the kind of boost that Culinary could provide if it had decided to come out and mobilize its people in favor of one particular candidate. But barring that, Bernie Sanders has the biggest organization here. He's been on the ground for a very long time. And in the polling that we have seen from Nevada, and it's been now more than a month since we've seen a good Nevada poll, Bernie Sanders was right there near the top. So this is good news for his campaign that Culinary's not going to weigh in on behalf of one of his opponents. So where does that leave us? Joe Biden was still leading in those polls here a month ago. That was before his struggles in Iowa and New Hampshire. You have to wonder how that's going to play here. And don't sleep on Tom Steyer. This is a town that loves big, ostentatious displays of wealth. He is spending tons of money here on radio, on television, and on digital ads going after, you guessed it, Bernie Sanders. So it's a bit of a muddle here in Nevada right now, but Culinary choosing to sit on the sidelines probably does help the senator from Vermont.
And Tom Steyer does look to be doing pretty damn well in the polls, actually. It looks like he's at like 12%, which is not an insignificant number at all. But just to see them allow this kind of coverage to go on is pretty remarkable. So the Culinary Union in Nevada is basically this massive, gargantuan union. And so the union leadership they don't support Medicare for All. All right, and it's because like it's their racket of making money, and so that's why they don't support Medicare for All. Now, they didn't end up endorsing any candidate. That's the best case scenario, considering that they were not going to endorse Bernie Sanders because they don't support Medicare for All. That's the leadership anyways. And so what I'm thinking is what most likely probably went down was probably the union membership, and this ends up happening a lot of times. The union leadership and the union members are usually on very different planes. It's your typical, hierarchical sort of divide of, the boss and the worker, the laborer. It's the same thing, The union leaders end up being people on CAP, the Center for American Progress, the Hillary Clinton funded think tank, and then the members are hardworking laborers. And so the leadership are these, just elitist pricks, basically, and the members are not. So I'm guessing there was essentially there was probably a clash in there, and they couldn't come to an agreement. And so this is really great news that the Culinary Union did not endorse anybody, because they weren't going to endorse Bernie. And so the fact that they didn't endorse anybody actually is huge for us. Now, the one thing we've got to worry about now, and really see how it pans out, is there's a lot of moderates who are not going to end up hitting viability in a lot of areas, because I believe Klobuchar and Buttigieg are both at like 10 points. So, I don't know what's going to happen. We saw what happened in Iowa. I have no idea. It's going to be a little bit crazy. It's a caucus as well. They're going to be using their app. But just seeing, and it's so sad that I have to praise them for this, obviously, because this isn't even really big praise. It's just reporting the facts. It's like basic numbers, statistics, and very basic inferences. And the fact that I have to give them props for this is quite depressing, to be honest. But hey, I guess they gave some positive coverage for once.